David and the Gov.Adeleke, His Excellency, there was an attack around the palace, even though it was not targeted against them. But what I want to bring here right now is the incessant attacks by these political dogs. I want, as the video and the governor exist the palace, there was an attack. Whether it was targeted against them or not is not an issue. The issue is, why should there be these incessant attacks by political dogs? This has to stop when we have a police force. I'm beginning to think otherwise, that allegedly that the police force has become accomplice to these happenings. I want to flash back to the endsars, and I want to bring it to how it correlates. There was a very pertinent question asked by the governor of Lagos State when he addressed the protesters. He said, "How did we get here? My honorable governor, Governor Sayolu, I want to answer that question. Answers has come and gone. We have forgotten. The question you ask, I don't think there has been any effort done to answer those questions. Or question, how did we get here?" Sir, the answers was supposedly a peaceful demonstration expressing the grievance of the youth to the governments. Now, the aim of the protest was hijacked by these so-called thugs, hoodlums. Then we call them alayes or agberos. These are people that constitute a nuisance and menace to the society, and they've been allowed to thrive. Why? I don't know. But in a very civilized society, we are supposed to have involved security architecture of the states, security consultants, to have gone into a research to know why the endsars was hijacked, so that a repetition or a occurrence, because protest is inevitable in a democratic society. It happens all over the world. But what we want our protests to be is that it remains peaceful. And our dear governor asked the question, how did we get here to the extent that the protest was hijacked, mayhem, and destruction of lives of and properties were done. Now, for us not to have a repetition, the reoccurrence of this same thing, we have to answer your question. I want to believe, allegedly, that the reason these thugs, these agbero boys, these alaye boys, these hoodlums keep thriving on the roads, on the streets of our country is because the government has become accomplice to the activities. This same gang of occults, because it has actually evolved from the ordinary thugs, it has evolved far much more than what you and I think it to be. It has evolved into political thuggery. They have become an instrument in the hand of the government to unleash, to wreak election, to cause chaos during election. It has become an instrumental tool in the hand of the government and our political elites to bring themselves back to power and influence and position, and sometimes to even destroy and kill their opponents. At least we heard it from a senator that said verbatim in Osun State election. So these things ought not to be so. These same thugs, agberos, alayes, political thugs has been weaponized to keep them there so that they can always fulfill their function when needed. These same thugs, agberos, alaye boys have hide themselves under the auspices of National Union of Road and Transport Workers. We have seen it many times in the emergence of the chairman of the union. We have seen court rivalry, court clashes, where there is an exchange of gunfire and bullets at random, indiscriminately, at will, and nothing is done. We have seen that these thugs, alayes, agberos, hoodlums have, occupied the bus stop and streets of our roads. The police, the army do nothing. Why? Because it is assumed that they are working, or claimed that they work for local government and state government in disguise to extort Nigerians, extort well-meaning Nigerians who try to earn and make a living. We have also understand that these same thugs and agbero and hoodlums, they also claim that they remit, collect tax, and remit to government cover. There is nothing to hide about this. We all know it. I want to ask a question. Has these people become immutable? Have these people become lawless, that the law no longer affect them? Are we not under the same law and constitution of Nigeria? Why are they allowing these people to roam about the streets of this country at will and do as they will, harassing, molesting, infringing on the rights of Nigerian citizens? Is the law not meant for all? Are there people that are above the law? I've seen severally in many occasions where these people attack commuters. There is a particular incident at Oshodi where a young lady was stripped naked just because she was trying to defend her rights of the freedom of movement. I bring to you the governor of Lagos State. I want you to remember that when the former governor of Cross River State, Professor Baniyade, saw the actions of these thugs, of these hoodlums, these so-called tax extortionists, how they collect tax from women in Nigeria who doesn't have even anything to survive on, just trying to make a livelihood. A woman, an elderly woman, was extorted. How much does she make from selling sweet and bitter cola on the streets? And yet, they extorted her. In some cases, collect her goods and seize it. God, help us. I'm not talking about the commuters, I'm just talking about people who can barely survive. That is when Professor Baniyade decided to ban them and stop them from operating, and said they should focus on the average and high-end Nigerians. The governor of Oyo State, His Excellency Governor Makinde, also extended this same hand of fellowship from Professor Baniyade to his state and banned the agberos, alaye, those tax extortionists, from harassing, molesting the citizens of Nigerians. I call them citizens of Nigeria because each state has a full representation of all the tribes and ethnics of Nigeria. Because in every state, you see the Igbo, the Yoruba, the Hausa, they are scattered everywhere. Lagos, we call Lagos the center of excellence. The place has become a den. Let me give you an example. Go to the Oshodi, under Oshodi, because I want the governor to understand that trying to build bogus infrastructures and facilities and social amenities is not the answer to Nigerian problem. The infrastructure at Oshodi, I don't know whether the governor of Lagos State in his convoy and entourage has moved past through Oshodi, probably with your children, if peradventure they are in Nigeria, to watch through the window and see how these hoodlums, they say they represent the state government, they represent the local government, they have become tax extortionists, because very soon Lagosians, Nigerians will not be able to walk on the road anymore. They say they are empowered by the government. I want to say that they have been weaponized. Thuggery has become weaponized in our society. They have evolved into political thuggery, into gangs of occults. They have evolved into assassins. Political thugs used at the will of the elites, the powerful, the government, to unleash and harass the opposition. I want to plead with the governor of Lagos State. You have done nothing concerning this matter. Now back to your question. How did we get here? We got to that stage of mayhem and destruction because the government weaponized these political talks, which has evolved into assassins, into gangs of occults, into hoodlums, and they hijack a peaceful protest and unleash their virtues of wickedness to the society. They unleash their viper of venom to the society and to Nigerians. The government caused it. The police force caused it. Because they allowed them to thrive. Constitute nuisance. Constitute non-entity in our society. I want to talk to the governor of Lagos State, My Excellence, Governor Sanwo-Olu. Impact is the greatest asset you should have as you exist your throne. The bogus structure and social amenities and infrastructure, they have not made a significant impact on Nigerians, on Lagosians. According to Abraham Maslow's theory, the physiological need, that is food, then second, shelter and safety, then third, social needs, before we start talking about self-esteem and self-actualization. I say impact is the footprint you leave on the sand of times. Impact is what you use your position of authority and power and influence to develop, improve, and make the environment and the lives of people better than you made them. Impact is a mark you leave in the memory of the heart of men and women to remember you. Impact is that everybody you come in contact with, how have their life been improved and be better off than you met them. Impact is you leaving a legacy that transcends generations. I talk about Professor Baniyade. He has existed the truth. And I'm talking about the present governor, Governor McGuinty. You are the governor of Lagos State. The IGR that comes to Lagos State is enormous. And yet it has not trickled down to the grassroots. We still have slums. We still have agberos. We still have hoodlums that goes about on our streets and harass well-meaning Nigerians and citizens of this country. I'm Pastor Chinazari, your life coach, motivational speaker, a reformer and a transformer strategist. Added to my resume, a conflict resolution specialist. Follow me and like my video. God bless you.